and welcome inside the Sportsnet RTA Production Center at the former Maple Leaf Gardens. This storied building is now home to the OUA's Ryerson Rams, so it's a perfect location to look in depth at the stories from Ontario's university sports scene. The features we will show you today convey many different emotions. But whether it's the pain of heartbreak, the joy of victory, or the love of family, a central theme is clear. Varsity athletes in this country have a deep love for their sports and the pride it inspires on their campuses. No athlete exemplifies this more than a certain Laurier Golden Hawk, and to tee it up, I welcome producer Toby Kerr into the studio. Toby, how would you describe Jackie Normando?
In a word, selfless. I'll tell you a story, actually. It was our first shoot in Laurier. She comes in and she's baked cookies for the entire crew. And now this is a young woman who is a two-sport athlete, a CIS all-academic, doing a ton of extracurriculars, and she still finds time to bake cookies. She shouldn't have time to microwave a Hot Pocket. Just unbelievable. Told her teammates this. No one was surprised. They just said, hey, that's Jackie.
Amazing. So with that, we're going to look inside the life of this Laurier sophomore who is already a two-time OUA champion.
It's 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. While many students are still in bed, Jackie Normando is hard at work volunteering in her school's biology lab. Only in her second year, she's the lab's lone undergrad volunteer, working alongside 4 thesis students and 2 earning their masters.
Vacuum grease, and we're gonna put slide covers, because what you do is put a drop on here and then you flip over the cover onto here, but you need to seal it so that the water doesn't get out. So this is just a sealant.
Jackie is a standout academic, posting an 11.6 GPA right out of high school, while still finding time to volunteer. But that's a small part of what makes her so remarkable. In her first year at Wilfrid Laurier University, Jackie also managed to earn a starting spot on the varsity soccer team. Despite being a true rookie, Normandeau became the team's lockdown defender, often asked to shadow the opponent's best striker.
Jackie definitely is different. She's unique and different than almost any athlete that I've ever coached, and the fact that her focus and her level of commitment and desire to excel, not just in soccer, but in life, in every aspect of anything that she chooses to participate in is truly exceptional. And she makes a commitment that is beyond what you'd say 99% of the top athletes at university level would be able to put forth.
It's mostly her dedication. Every time she comes to practice, every game, you never hear her complain. She comes out and she gives it all she has, and it's fantastic because she's playing 2 sports, and even every time you see her, she's never complaining about it, and she's always the hardest working player when the rest of us pretty much don't have that much else and we're still complaining.
I think her biggest strength is her hard work. Her work ethic is really strong, and I think that's led her to some of her success. She's obviously naturally talented, but she's worked very hard to get where she is. And the way she can work hard at everything and balance school and hockey and soccer and still have a social life is just amazing. She's worked so hard.
The CIS soccer season goes from September to mid-October. But while her teammates recover and catch up on their studies, Jackie trades in her cleats for skates.
I don't know how she gets everything she gets done in a 24-hour period sometimes. It is, I have a hard time understanding why she doesn't run out of gas at practice.
But Jackie doesn't just play for both teams, she shines. Normandeau earned soccer's Rookie of the Year award and was named Laurier's most outstanding rookie athlete. All this while being named a CIS All-Academic in both sports.
Well, she assumed a leadership role in her first season. She does it quietly, but I think she got the respect of our senior players right out of the gate with the things that she was willing to do off the field and her level of performance on the field. So she led by example in her first year. She's still a quiet leader for us, and I think our expectation moving forward will be that she is a more dominant leader within our group as she grows into her senior years of soccer at Laurier.
More important to Jackie than any personal honor was the success of her teams. And succeed they did.
Soccer was unbelievable. Like, you're just in the season, you're in the moment, trying so hard for everyone to get there, and then suddenly you win and you're like, what just happened? And then hockey, we're like, suddenly we end up in the final series and it's like, holy, this could actually happen. Like, so I don't know, it was just unbelievable because the amount of time you put into each sport. Like, winning one is amazing, winning two is like, what just happened? I've always wanted to play hockey. Like, since I was, as long as I can remember, I've wanted to play hockey. But then I played soccer in the summer because everyone played soccer, and now I really do love them both. I was actually thinking only of soccer for a while because I was on kind of like, I wasn't quite there for hockey, and then I got onto a better hockey team and I thought, well, maybe I could do it. And actually I was in Barry's office talking to Barry about soccer, and I asked where the hockey rink was. And he's like, you play hockey? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay, well, go talk to the hockey coach. I was like, really? Like, this is like a dream come true. So then I contacted the hockey coach, and it kind of started from that. So it really started at Laurier that I thought, well, maybe I could do this.
But finding that balance hasn't always been easy.
I saw it crack once last year in her rookie season when she made the transition from soccer to hockey. Soccer was just finishing the emotional run of the Nationals, and we were into our overload, which was about a week and a half before we were going to taper a little bit. And Jackie's the type of person that cannot stand there and watch the rest of the team work really hard, and her not. And we tried our best to make her just taper and set up an individual overload for her, but she's just not built that way.
Most people would have given up, quitting one, if not both, sports. Jackie Normando isn't most people.
I kind of just use like sports as a break from school and school as a break from sports. It's like I don't get nervous for games too much because I have midterms to study for and vice versa. So I guess some weeks it's pretty like exhausting, but you just keep going and, you know, get a good night's sleep one night and then you're ready to go.
Loved by coaches and teammates alike, Normandeau has become an integral part of Laurier athletics, both on and off the field.
I think if you talk to every person on every one of the teams, there isn't anybody that could say a negative word about her, because she is the consummate team player, and she will always try to do whatever she can to help others as well as the bigger group. So it's very rare that you have a player that every single person likes, but she is definitely one of those.
I think, like, literally I just can't choose between them. Like, I would miss one so much that I'm like, it's worth all this time, it's worth all this effort to play them. Plus, like, both teams, like, I love everyone on all the teams. So at this point, I just want to see them, so yeah.
She's earned awards, championships, and the admiration of those around her. Laurier will remember her as Jackstar, the woman who did it all.
Simply an unbelievable young athlete and one of the most genuine people you will ever meet. After the break, we'll stay in Waterloo and move to the home of the Warriors, where a hockey team has banded together in the wake of a tragedy. Welcome back to Varsity Life. One of the unique things about collegiate sports is the sense of togetherness teams can build despite yearly roster turnover. Most accredit this to the amount of time varsity athletes spend with their teammates during the school year. From road trips to practice to study hall, their teammates are the people they get to know the most. All this can make the sudden loss of a teammate as painful as that of a family member. Barry Robertson joins me now. Barry, talk about your own emotions when gathering the story of Tyler Norrie.
You know what? It was surreal, really. I came into the Waterloo community after the fact, and hockey players are some of the toughest guys on the planet. You see them break down, it's tough. You see their pain, you see their disbelief at what happened. But one thing I really learned was a family of a hockey player extends well beyond just mom and dad.
We show you this now to honor the life of Tyler Norrie and for the family and teammates who treasure his memory.
The University of Waterloo, home of the Warriors and their men's hockey team for over 50 years. But this year's team faces a challenge that none of the previous ones have. And it's not on the ice.
It's tough when guys don't come back, if they graduate or guys move on. This was obviously a completely different scenario, so.
I was at home, and I got a text from the other veterans that apparently had talked to Brian, our coach, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I was probably one of the first guys to hear the bad news, and it hit me pretty strong. You know, it's just disbelief. I couldn't believe that one of my teammates had passed away.
Tyler Norrie, at the age of 22, collapsed while training in a hometown gym. Tyler grew up in Simcoe, Ontario, about an hour south of Hamilton. And very early on, it was clear he had a passion for hockey, using every chance he could to practice his favorite sport.
Hockey was his passion. Playing hockey since like the age of 5. Out in the yard, out in my garage, was just constantly with shooting pucks and on targets on the net. And
on me.
Lindsay's a goalie, so.
Because of him.
Yeah.
Tyler played junior hockey with the Caledonia Corvairs, averaging a point a game in his final season while also attending the University of Waterloo for environmental studies. It was then he piqued the interest of Warriors coach Brian Burke.
He was a solid junior player. He was at the school already. He's a good person. I did lots of work on his background as a character type of guy and as a teammate, and everyone loved him. So we knew he could play for us.
It's funny because he wasn't really like me as a player at all. This is going to sound bad against me, but he's exactly what our coach, his style of play was, and Nor's was really the epitome of warrior hockey. He was a grinder, he worked hard.
Now, what was seen as a promising start to a varsity career was turned to heartbreak, and Tyler's teammates had to overcome this loss before a return to the rink was possible.
I know probably for the most part the guys just wanted to be together when they found out. Guys just wanted to remember Norris and remember all the fun times we had with him and all the great stuff he did on the ice and off the ice.
Last time I saw him was actually during an exam, right before we finished. Me and him were both not very happy with the way the exam went, but I went out and had a couple drinks after and forgot all about it.
Because the training camp was the first time we were all together as a team since Tyler had passed away. You practice and play so much. You're together basically 100 times for hockey and then all the days in between, and you become tight pretty quick. It's been something to work through as a group for sure.
Not having Norris there was definitely tough. I mean, his stall was still all set up, his name bar was still there. It's tough because you're so excited coming back to the season, starting again, and not having a teammate there, you kind of get there with heavy hearts.
We decided as an approach to talk about it and use Tyler's name and have pictures of him around and include his family, and that's the approach we've had with it.
October 2nd, Waterloo's home opener, and the team knows the impact this moment will have on everyone here. Friends and family have come to take part and honor Tyler in an opening ceremony.
Please give a warm welcome to Tyler's father Duncan, his mother Karen, sister Lindsay, and stepdad Tom.
We went up and dropped the puck for their opening game, and they unveiled the patch that they're wearing this year for Tyler. And we were just treated incredibly.
Tyler was a member of the Edgewater community for far too short, but will forever be a Warrior. Tyler played his first season with the Warriors last year.
It was great. After that puck drop game, we went into the dressing room afterwards, and just stories chirping back and forth across the change room was awesome.
I was talking to his parents about the game after, and basically they were saying, like, we came to this game and we felt like we were still watching Tyler, and you know, it was the same for everyone in the room. We still felt like Tyler was in the dressing room and, you know, on the ice with us that night.
The Warriors would go on to win their opener 7-2. And now, just 2 years removed from the OUA championships and expecting to contend, the Warriors are doing what they can to find a source of motivation out of their tragedy. For some, it makes them appreciate not just the game, but life a little more.
I think it just gives us that little bit of motivation that, you know, we're all very lucky to still be here and have the chance to play. And Norris would have done anything to be here with us.
Obviously, we have the patches, and it's a constant reminder. A lot of the times, there's no escaping the fact, and not that we want to. I mean, it's important motivation for us, and obviously, none of us expected that to happen. So it's constantly there.
So far, Waterloo has been having success with a team that has become closer than ever before. Now they aren't simply playing for themselves, but for a teammate, a brother, and a son that was taken too soon.
I think it kind of gives you a sense of pride when you go out there to know that you're playing for him and for his family.
He'll be missed. You know, it's hard for everyone in that dressing room, especially me. I spent a lot of time with him on the ice and away from the rink. And, you know, I just want him to know that I know he wants to be here every night, and I wish he could be.
It's just that I'm so proud of him. Everything that he has done. I'm proud to be his father.
To watch and share any of our features, you can visit our website, shown here, varsitylifetv.ca. After the break, we'll bring you a story of a family tradition that will warm your heart. Stay tuned. Welcome back. 2 siblings playing at the varsity level is fairly commonplace. 3 happens, 4 is rare, but 5 is simply unheard of. The funny thing about our next story is that it probably should have been 6 if it wasn't for an untimely coaching change. Leah Semeniuk, a varsity athlete here herself at Ryerson for the past 4 years, joins me now in the studio. Leah, what was one thing that stood out the most to you about the Allin family?
They're really tall. No, I mean, if I had to pick one thing, it'd probably be humility. Those are 5 of the hardest working basketball players in the OUA that I think I've ever seen. So, in my opinion, I think they're the best basketball family in Ontario, and possibly the country.
So without further ado, it's time for All In, the story of the Allin family.
The town of Chatham, Ontario is an unlikely home for one of Canada's best basketball families. Situated an hour from London, it was in this house that the Allins grew up. And with this old net, one of the OUA's best and biggest households learned their game.
I'm this good-looking kid. Look at that turtleneck.
So would you say you're the best looking?
Nah, Richie's really good looking. But yeah, I'm up there. I'm definitely up there.
Top 8?
Top 8 for sure.
8 kids, 14 years apart, and one common love, the game of basketball.
It's always still flowing, the competitive genes. I don't think they'll ever leave for basketball. It's like your first true love.
Yeah, it'll never change with me. I've always loved the game. I always will. It's been my passion and it will be for the rest of my life.
While Trevor, Molly, and Cleo decided not to pursue basketball at the next level, the other 5 Allin boys began making their mark on the OUA with the Windsor Lancers in 2003.
Richard was a really talented high school quarterback. He was dynamite. He was recruited by a number of different universities and chose Windsor. And then the basketball team was like, come to the dark side sort of thing. And started practicing with the team in January. And then I committed in March, and then it was just like, yeah, we got 5 years together. And then we were 2 years with Connor, which was fun.
We were a tight team.
I was gonna say, yeah, we were just a good group of guys.
Good group of guys, and like there's just so balanced. We had like a lot of really good players. I think 3 of the players played pro after, so really good team.
In 2007, Connor's first year at Windsor, the Lancers claimed the OUA championship.
We feed off these fans. Fans are amazing. I can't explain it.
But despite their success, when it became Max's turn to choose a program, the family's most sought-after recruit went in another direction.
I don't know, they all just chose Windsor, and who won me over really was Peter Campbell. He was in my last year, he was at every single one of my tournaments, and he just showed so much commitment and trusted in me, and I wanted to play a lot at the start of my career, and that was a way I could start on a team.
After winning OUA Rookie of the Year, Max would go on to be top 10 in the country in points, assists, and rebounds at different stages of his career. By the end of his 5 years at Laurier, he was the Golden Hawks' all-time leader in rebounds and assists, and had scored the 5th most points in OUA history.
He did a lot of things. He could pass the ball, he could handle the ball, he rebounded really well, and became a very good scorer over the time he was here.
He's one of the greatest players to play at Laurier ever. He could score the ball, he could rebound, he could dish it, he could do it all on the court, and then off the court he was a leader. Everyone loved him. He's just a great guy, so I think he meant a huge deal to Laurier basketball.
But there is one unfinished chapter in the Allin family saga. The youngest of the 8, Luke, is in his rookie season at Laurier. And as it turns out, they may have saved the best for last.
My last recollection of playing basketball was with Luke when he was like about 4 or 5, and he was only, at school for half day, and I went out while he was shooting, and I was guarding him, and I had my arms up, and then he made me only put one arm up, and then that was too much, and then I could only have no arms up, and I'm like guarding him like, come on, Luke, but yeah.
Well, I grew up watching my brothers as soon as I was born. Like, I was always in the gym, but I was in a lot of camps as I was younger, all throughout the year, and just playing elementary basketball and just watching my brothers play.
What do you think is Luke's biggest strength as a player?
Being able to watch his older brothers and being able to learn from everybody, and his size and his basketball IQ.
Yeah, he's
a general out on the court. He's very smart.
Yeah, he's got definitely high b-ball IQ, and his length is is pretty impressive. Like, he's 6'7", but he's got arms down to his knees. So that's gonna help you out in the long run. But he's a good shooter too.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
he's pretty well rounded.
Yeah, he's pretty good all around.
He needs to be more aggressive though.
Be more aggressive, yeah.
Luke, be more aggressive.
All my brothers are great university players, so I hope to be as good as them.
Whether he'll be as good as Max, whether he'll be better than Max, I'm hoping he'll be better. But I'd be happy if he was as good as Max, because that was a pretty good run for us.
He has the potential to beat Max's records, but at the same time, I don't think he's ever thought about it. He's thinking about getting the W's.
If I got anywhere close near to his numbers, that'd be pretty impressive, but getting wins I think is more important to myself, and trying to thrive to be as best as I can.
Whether they are on or off the court, basketball runs in the Allin's blood.
I think it's just how much we love and support each other. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but you know, we've been such a strong family and so supportive of one another.
Being awesome, and also like just I don't know, being good guys, having fun, being good teammates. Hopefully being able to help the team win, but for the most part, you want to, be a good person, I think. So
Yeah, just enjoy what you're doing.
yeah, have fun.
That concludes this episode of Varsity Life. It's been a pleasure bringing you some of the best stories this province's exploding varsity sports scene has to offer. As the OUA continues to improve and expand, our hope is that the coverage of its athletes and their stories will grow along with it. We thank you for joining us.